Hey everybody, what's going on YouTube? Your boy's back for another video. Like I said, it was gonna be about me getting my butt kicked. Okay? Now, I can't keep doing videos about fighting every single time. So now that we've done, I think, 3 in a row now, it was just because that day when I did the one, I said, okay, I'm going to do one more that I win and then one that I lose, and I want you to just keep my word to you guys. I didn't want someone to think, oh, he said he was going to do that and he didn't. So, but I have a lot of content planned, some awesome content. I have a bunch of different ideas, like within this genre. I got a bunch of wicked stories that don't have nothing to do with me personally fighting, but nevertheless, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be some gore, some war. It's gonna be, just trust me. I don't want to spoil it, okay? So I'm not gonna get into spoiling it. So, all right. So this specific prison that I'm in at this moment. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get comfortable. Okay. So the jail that I was in this moment that I'm going to be speaking on is Maplehurst Correctional Facility. Okay? Now, sorry. Okay, so Maplehurst is in Milton, Ontario. It's about 45-minute or an hour and a half. Sometimes it depends how the paddy wagon drives, but it's at least an hour to get to Milton, and the ride's just treacherous. Okay, that's why I always do video court. And I've just seen, like, on the news the past few days, Maplehurst is going through a bunch of COVID right now. They got a bunch of people, inmates with COVID, and a guard got COVID, so COVID-19. So let's hope that all the guys locked down they can't social distance. So let's just hope and pray that inmates just don't die out of their own control. Prison and jail is already bad enough. Okay, so we'll get right into this. Okay. Imagine. Oh my god, I'd be trying to break out. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so anyways, what y'all here for is title and more stories, of course. Okay, so like I said, Maplehurst Correctional Facility, it's called CECC for short, Central East Correctional Center. Okay, now I just rambled on for 3 minutes for an intro. If you guys want to hit that sub button, hit that like button, and share it with a friend, and also hit the bell so you can know when I do my videos, so you can be the first one to watch them. Alright? Alright. So basically, when you guys see me going like that, it's because I have a couple little tick notes. It's because I don't want to go off track, because when I do storytelling, I tend to be in the middle of a story and then I'll think of something else and go way off track, you know? So I gotta keep my ideas in one direction. So, okay. Basically, I was around 20 years old. I had been in before. I had been in YO and TIAC. Plus, I was in the Maplehurst before, but I got bailed out. I was in there for like I'd say about maybe 20 days or so. And here in Canada, we can't just get bail right away and just they don't just tell you a bail price and then you put the money up. And if you put the money up, you get out. We literally have to go in court in front of a judge to get our bail and get approved by the judge for a bail. So if you have a bad record, it doesn't matter even if you have a small charge. They could be like, no, we're denying bail, we're giving him a detention order, he's no bail. And meanwhile, it's like, what the heck, this is a totally different time, it's a different thing, it's a different charge. Anyway, so I breached my bail. I went back, they sent me back to the Hearst, and then at this point, it was like, At this point okay, when y'all touch down on range in the pod, I finally touched down in the range, okay? And now you're in your cell block, in your range, in the unit, whatever they want to call it. So I just came in, I just got there. So when you first get to a range, you have to have a shower. That's one of the main rules in jail. You have to have a shower if you're outside from the street because you're dirty, and if you are in there and you go to court and come back because you've been in the outside world, you have to have a shower. And you should just shower every day anyways. And most of the convicts like me, we know, okay, listen, shower every day. Like, you have freaking time. You're around all men for freaking days. Like, you have nothing to do, okay? You have nowhere to go. So just have your shower every day. It's not a hard job, you know? Okay, so now, so I just came in, I got in the shower, whatever, and what does this say? Sorry. What does this say? Shower. Sorry about this, guys. I really am. Oh yeah, for all like new people that come in, there's rules in every guy's range. Every general pop range. I don't know how it's like over in the birds and the PCs, but so every range is got this little thing. But if you've been in there once or twice, you've already read those rules, and it's basically the same rules every place you go to, every range you go to. It's just straight basic convict rules, right? Like, if you go take a piss, make sure you wash your hands before you come back to the table and start playing poker with the guy's cards, you know what I mean? He doesn't want to taste your pissy hands, and you know, you gotta stay really hygienic and stuff like that. That's just one example. Like, if people are eating lunch, you don't go back to the range at the tables. We're at the tables eating lunch, for example, and you go back and take a big shit. No. Even if you're courtesy flushing, no, you'll still get punched out, you know? And even if you don't wash your hands after you piss, you come back to the table, no one will even say nothing to you. They'll just walk up and crack you, you know what I mean? Right off your chair. Anyway, so yeah, the rules in most of the jails I went to, I already knew all the ones. It's the same ones all the time, like the same 10 pretty much every time. So anyways, so I go to have my shower, but wait, no, I'm gonna catch a disease on my feet if I go barefoot, right? So if I go barefoot, I will catch a disgusting, you know, there's stuff in there, it's like disgusting. So I'm about to put my shirt on the floor. Okay, I'm gonna put my shirt on the floor. I'm gonna put my shirt on the floor because to not stand directly with my feet onto the floor. You know what I mean? Onto the dirty shower, disgusting. You'll catch a foot fungus. You'll catch a disease. You'll catch athlete's foot. You'll catch God knows what else. Okay, so I'm about to put my, I would never put the bare feet down, so I'm like, you couldn't go to commissary because you gotta wait like a week when you get there, so you can't just go up to and get commissary anytime you want. You're only allowed $60 here in Canada a week. I don't know how it is, I've heard $100 in other places, but it's $60 here a week, and you can't order when you want. You have to order on the day that they say to order, and then your stuff comes on a certain day, like a week later, or 5 days later, or whatever. Okay? So they sell slides for like $4.50, right? So they sell the slides for $4.50. Everyone buys them, obviously. So I'm about to put the shirt down. Long story short, all of a sudden, dude walks up and says, "Yo, right? Here, bro, take them. Just put them back," right? So I'm like, oh, respect. Put them back when you're done, though. Alright, bro. Respect, dog, you know? Alright? So I have my shower. I use the slides. I go put them to dry. I lean them up against the wall. like, sort of like, you know, say if this is the wall, I lean the slipper up like this against the wall. I don't lay it flat on the ground. I lay it up against the wall like this, so the water can run off and drip and basically dry that way. Now, it's such a petty thing, but this is what ends up causing the fight. The littlest things can cause fights in there, right? Remember that. So I think Buddy's cool with me and everything, right? So he over there playing poker with his gang. Yeah, this guy was a gang member. He's over there playing poker. So I go to the showers fast. Put them back on. Put them back to dry. So I put them up to dry standing up. Then his name was Bones, okay? So then Bones Selly takes over. He walks over like he's gonna have a shower, okay? He grabs the slippers. I thought he walked over near them. He didn't grab the slippers yet though. He was gonna grab them, and then he went back and gave his cards to his Selly. I thought he was going in the shower. So what happened is, okay, he gives his cards to the Selly. His Selly's playing his poker hand. I know I'm telling you guys a lot of stuff around the story, but you guys need to know like what it was like, you know, what it was. I was newly in, how the fight happened, all that kind of stuff, the atmosphere, you know, everybody's sitting there playing cards at their tables, four seat tables, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Everyone's doing their cards, or some old guys watching TV, whatever, people on the phone, you know, we're in the range, right? The cells is the cells, and then we can only come out on the range, and that's the only place we go. We don't go anywhere else unless they take us out to rec, take us out to the yard, and that's just an enclosed concrete area with a pull-up bar and like a fenced roof, so you can see through and air can come through the roof and you can see the sky, right? And so when it snows or rains, it gets wet. So anyways, all right, so Bones Selly takes over his game on his hand, okay? Now, he goes over the shower. I think he's going to grab the slides. He doesn't grab the slides. He just walks past the shower and goes to the phone, right? Okay? So, he goes over to the phone and sits down, but he has the slides in his hand, okay? So, he has the slides in his hand now. And he sits down, okay? Like the slides like this, but the jail slides, right? So, he puts them down. Goes like this. Puts them on his feet. And looks right over at me with like a death look, right? Like death in his eyes, like, and he's going, you know, when they kiss their teeth, right? So I'm thinking, what the hell? This guy's like, you know, he was just about to, like, he was my friend, like not a friend, but he was looking out. He let me borrow the slippers. Like, what's up? You know, I couldn't figure it out for the life of me why he's acting up like that, right? So. But little did I know, he put his feet in the slides, and they had water on them still, and he got his only pair of white socks wet. But little things, okay? But because all the other socks are like state socks or issued socks from the jail that are like yellow and like woolly. They're not like nice white socks, you know what I mean? So, oh, my earring back fell on the ground, man. Sorry. Okay, so he goes over to the phone, he puts them on his feet with his socks, and he gets a soaker, bro. Okay? He gets a soaker. Alright? Now, I gotta get a haircut. I gotta get a fade and a lineup, man. I didn't have time to do it the past couple days, so I just did like a line, you know? I don't know. Whatever. Best I could do, because I cut my own hair. I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow or whatever. Okay, so now to the point where I'm going to be real with you. I got a bad memory, right? So before I made the video last night, I sat and I wrote down a bunch of stuff, right? So if you see me look down, don't worry. It's because I'm reading off my notes, okay? Okay, so So I go to the shower, but wait. Okay, sorry. Then he gets a soaker. Now, get it now as a convict, but this was when I was basically an inmate. I wasn't a convict yet because this is my first time in, basically, right? So I'm not thinking like a convict yet. I'm thinking like an inmate, right? I eventually did bids, more bids. The more time you do, slowly but surely, after the third or fourth time, you start becoming a convict, right? You start getting used to everything. Or if you stay in for a long period of time the first time, okay? So I'd say after like the third time, I was probably, because I did like 20 months the third time or whatever, I don't know. So I got institutionalized, okay? Put it that way. I can't even remember a lot of this stuff because it's just like all a big boosh, you know? But then when I start talking about certain things, I'll remember other stuff, right? Because I was in a car accident with my dad. He became quadriplegic in a wheelchair, like it says on my thing, and the car that hit us is a head-on collision on the highway, and I was only like a kid, but it hit my head and smashed my head right there, right? So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or maybe just all the drugs or all the weed that I did before I changed my life around. So yeah. Okay, so Bones looks over, all pissed looking. I'm thinking, what the F, right? Is up with dude? He let me use him, but I don't know he got a soaker on his socks, right? So, you know, dude let me use him, so I'm like, what's going on? And before I can even, so I go over to dude and I say, yo, what's going on, bro? Like, why is your face looking like that? Before I can even get a word out, bro, okay? Before I can even get a word out, bro, he pops off, hits me in the face, okay? I swing back. His people, his set, and the rest of his guys go to the back, yell out to us, yo, go to the back, so the COs don't hear it or see it, right? Yeah, no problem. So me and him, we both go to the back real quick, you know, behind the block that everybody sits on where the pisser and the toilet is, and it's like has this big, huge concrete block in front of it, like smooth concrete, and then so you can like put like soap or whatever, but people just put everything off to the one corner, and like two guys can sit there, but it like blocks off the fighting too, right? People go behind there and fade, right? Whatever you call it. Okay, so now his people are doing the good thing, making sure nobody's being heat, making sure nobody's staring over for us to get caught, right? So me and him are back there rumbling, boom, 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 fading. I'm starting to win, okay? I'm getting the upper hand. So his boy comes back and helps him fight me. He helps him fight me. His boy comes in. Now I'm fighting him and his boy. Boom, 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 right? Okay? Now, you're not going to believe it, but at that moment, cells bust open. Okay? La folla, what the F, right? Everybody's like, what the F? Like, the cells pop open, but that's the time every day and every night that the cells pop, right? So we're like, oh man, what's going on, right? Oh yeah, it's normal. So we weren't saying all that. This is just what's going through our head thinking that stuff, right? So all of a sudden, boom, we go into that cell because there's 3 cells on that side behind the, like, you're in between this block and the 3 cells, right? So yeah, those cells close to the toilets, oh man, those must be bad, stinky cells, right? Those are not good cells to be in because the toilets are right there for the range. Everybody pisses and oh, gross. So anyway, yeah. So now we all go in the cell. Me and dude that lent me the slides, Bones, his name is, and his boy, okay, and the rest of his set is watching, okay. But as we go in the cell, so we all go in the cell, right? Behind the block, people sit on. Yeah, I already told you we went behind the block, people sit on, okay? So we are in we are the 3 of us in the cell, going at it, okay? And all I see is like 10 to 15 more gang members run all up in the cell, okay? They all run up in the cell. I'm getting rushed now, right? But I do a defense mechanism. I never knew this it was lucky. I never knew this at the time. I went back all the way to the corner where the window is in the cells, okay? I drew a little diagram, so it's hard to explain to you guys, but basically, I don't know if you guys can see, but my little diagram right here, I don't know if you can see it, but so I go right back to the window. This is the cell when you walk in. There's the bunk, okay? There's the bunk, there's the toilet, okay? Here's the shelves and the table you sit at, right? So I go in first, boom, I go right back to this corner window in between the corner, the wall. So like I'm like, okay, the wall is this wall and this is this wall, okay? So I'm like backed up in the corner, so no one can get behind me, okay? So that was like a really good defense mechanism, but that's not gonna always work forever, right? So what happened was I'm sitting there in this like defensive mechanism position, and because of how the cell walls were and everything was going on, everything was so crazy, I got really lucky. I probably would have got way worse, but because there was like 3 or 4 guys could get up right in the front of me, right? But because there was so many other brothers that were coming in, the 3 or 4 or 5 that were here in front of me, and I'm still fighting, right? But I'm getting beat bad, but I'm still throwing them, right? So, but the guys in behind, the other like 10 guys behind all them, or 5 or 8 guys, whatever, that weren't in the front hitting me, they're like trying to swing over their boys, right? They're trying to like, they want in the action. They're like jumping up, trying to look, and they're like trying to get their work in and trying to go over their friends, and they're hitting their friends by accident and stuff like that, you know? But anyways, so the guys in the cell rush in. That's the one in the back trying to swing. Okay, back at the way the corner was is the crazy. So in the cell they rush, blah blah blah, trying to swing. Okay, there's some of them are swinging, some of them are like kicking, some of them are firing me up in the head, some of them are poking me up, you know what I mean, with those little jigga shanks. Okay, they don't go in deep, they only go in about that deep, but they poke holes in you like shit, man, like crazy, right? So yeah, I'm getting fired up, okay? So they literally were within hitting, they were literally hitting each other by accident, right? Cause it's so full, the cell's so full, right? The little check marks were the dudes, right? Now remember, the check marks are the dudes, right? So all these guys in the back right here, they can't hit me. They're like trying to swing over these guys, but they can't. So, but the guys in the front had it under control, okay? I'm still getting hit by like 4 or 5 of them, right? Okay, so now, after all that, blood is everywhere. Blood is all over the walls, the cells, the bunks, the sheets are red. They're supposed to be white. Blood on all of us at that time. The closer ones I meant, okay? Like the closer ones to me got all bloody too. Now, it finally ends, right? I just kept back to the wall and just kept punching, kicking, swinging, whatever I could, right? Kept on trying. I'm getting fucked up bad, right? I'm getting fucked up bad. I'm bleeding everywhere. I'm bleeding out my... I already got a shiner, 2 shiners probably, under my eyes. Friggin' blood coming out my mouth, like busted lips, you know? My nose, for some reason, I don't get bloody noses very often, but I did have a cut here on my nose, so my nose was bleeding from the outside, right? I guess when I must have got poked in the nose, right? By accident. I don't know. Whatever, right? Lucky it wasn't the eye, thank God. That reminds me of another story about my cousin. That's another story for another time. He's a gang member, and he got poked in the eye before, okay? With a real shank, and had a boom, and that was in jail, right? It was in the front page of the newspaper clipping in Toronto, down jail, right? But see, I'm not in those kind of gangs, right? And I guess that gang, whatever gang he's in, didn't like the other gang and this and that. See, this is why it's my older cousin, right? He had a worse time than me, and he's a gang member. It's crazy. Anyways, back to the story. So, finally ends, you know. I'm bleeding. My head was fired up about 3 or 4 times. Maybe 5. Also, my finger busted. I forgot about that. Yeah, when I was hitting dudes, all of a sudden, I must have like hit something, and my finger busted. Okay, I didn't tell anyone that. I didn't want anyone to know my finger was busted, because then they might think that I'm weak, or that's the way convicts think in their eyes. Like, they think they can get the upper hand, you know what I mean? So I'm in the dudes in the front were all black eyes, busted eyes, heads, body, all of them, right? They all gave me my respect, right? Because I was doing the best I could. Like, obviously, after a while, I ended up just, right? It ended. I was just getting mangled. I think at that point I was just barely swinging anymore, and I was just kind of leaned against the wall and the table and just trying to keep myself standing up and like blocking and shit, right? Trying to block, and trying to swing, right? But I think I stopped swinging after a while and was just getting hit, right? Because it was getting mangled. So, okay. So they gave me my respect, actually, after that. And I headed up with my black eye and cuts and gashes and poked up a bunch of times. Now, only reason they left my ass alone was because I fought back, guys. Okay, so for all you out there that think, man, you shouldn't have fought, you shouldn't have went in the cell. The only reason they left me alone after that was because I never did nothing shady. I friggin', basically, if I was one of their boys and I was gonna get jumped in the gang, that's what I would have went through. So now they're thinking, oh man, this guy's, you know, they want to hang with me. They think I'm cool. They think I'm like, oh, this guy's good, you know, maybe I can, whatever they think, right? They think they don't see white boys do that often, right? They don't see it. A lot of times they just get extorted, right? I'll have other stories about all of that, though. Basically, every range you go on, you're going to have maybe half the range white, half black, and there'll only be maybe 2 or 3 at the most out of 40 guys, white guys. 20 white, 20 black, and only 3 white dudes that can actually throw hands, okay, on each range. And the black guys, even the ones that don't throw hands, they still click up with their brothers to make it look like even more of them, because they're smart, they're a gang. But these guys aren't a gang, we're just normal people, so these guys aren't going to get involved. They just pussy out, and they just friggin', oh, they'll just love getting extorted, you know what I mean? Here's my canteen, they say. No, I'm sure it doesn't go down like that, but that's, sometimes when I see this crap, that's how I feel. Excuse me, it's like, I look at some of these dudes and I'm just like, man, I'm not going to help you, I'm not going to stick up for you if you can't even stick up for your own stuff. If you're going to stick up for your own self, and maybe these guys are all jumping you, maybe I might say something and say, yo, just let them get it one-on-one, or maybe I would try and help if I could, if I thought you were alright, if you stood up for your own self and you were getting jumped bad. That's the type of guy I am. But if you don't even try to get your own stuff, I ain't gonna help you, man. You know? So, alright. So all this went down. Alright? That's the only reason they left me alone. So remember that, guys. Remember that, kids. You know, if you go to jail, make sure you always fight back, man. Because if I didn't fight back, I would have got on the ground. They probably would have stomped my head and I might have died. You never know what would have happened, right? So, okay. So now, every time the freaking, I got all kinds of injuries, right? I don't want to get, obviously none of us want to get a misconduct. That's, obviously, you always want to get away with shit, right? So now, when the CO comes and does his rounds, if he's on this side of me doing his rounds, I turn this way, right? If he's on this side of me, I turn this way, right? It's easy. Now, if they're like, captain or somebody's gonna come in or something, I would just go in and make it look like I'm having a shower and just go, sometimes even just go in the shower if I had to, not to let them see me, right? So, yeah, so, I keep losing where I am, right? Because I know most of the story in my head once I start talking, but then I gotta see where my notes are. Okay, so, we already said that. Went on to be cool with some of them. So yeah, I went on to be cool with some of these guys. I didn't have no problems after that. You know, with that set of gangs specifically, that gang actually started to play cards with me a lot, and poker and stuff, right? A lot of BIDWIZ and poker. Okay, LOOTY, dice gang, sorry. LOOTY, it's a dice game. I call it gang, sorry, but it's called LOOTY. Okay? Now, or sometimes I would play 4, 5, 6. They call it CeeLo, right? So I used to play that with my Vietnamese boys on a Jane strip. Lots of other stuff happened in that 20 months, but this episode is about me getting effed up, right? So don't go to jail. You could get effed up even if you got hands like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, I got hands, dude, and I got effed up. And that wasn't going to be the last time, okay? Honestly, in my friggin' 8.5 years of lockup, that says that I did probably 14 years on paper. My actual time sentence, like my actual time served, because they give you your time served. And I already explained the 2 for 1. I would do 20 months, it would be 40 months, stuff like that. 18 months would be whatever it would be, the double amount, right? Okay, so 36 or whatever. Okay, so now, yeah, the episode is about me getting effed up, guys. So I got so many more stories I want to tell you guys. You know, I appreciate you guys all coming on here. Yeah, no matter how good your hands are, nobody can fight 20 people or 15 people, and nobody can take an entire pod of 25 to 30 people on. Nobody can. If they say they can, they're, I don't know what's wrong with them. Okay, I'd like to see it. No, they can fight back, obviously, and get respect, but they're not going to win against 10, 20 guys, okay? So that was a learning experience for me, one of my first times in, okay? With all the jail experience I was getting, I eventually went on to win more fights, lose more fights on that bit alone, right? Not in my entire life, okay? It was a savage, dog-eat-dog world. And some dudes don't even get to eat meat. They don't even get to eat chicken, bro. Okay? Some of these guys are so ruthless, they will sit there and hand out the food, hand out your trays, and take the chicken out, put it on their tray, and hand you the rice and vegetables. Okay? I've seen it. I've had it happen to me. And I've had to fight for my chicken. Alright? If you don't fight for your chicken, you ain't eating chicken, boy. Alright? You ain't eating chicken. Alright? One of those black boys is gonna get your chicken, boy. Alright? If you ain't fight. And that's straight up. I see 10 white boys in a row line up. Only 2 of us got chicken. Every single one of them. They just walk away with their head down. Don't say nothing. They don't eat chicken the whole time in. Well, at this one jail, chicken was 3 times a week. If you don't eat chicken, you're gonna die in there, man. Alright? You're gonna die in there. Now that was my kind of like feel sorry for the voice, you know what I'm saying? I felt sorry for some of these guys, man. Like, dude, just, it's not gonna be the end of the world, dude. Just throw a punch, you know? Like, wow. But I guess because me and my friends grew up fighting for fun and stuff like that, going to parties and fighting, I guess it's like different for me or something. So yeah. Oh shoot, I gotta end it there, guys. And next time it's definitely not gonna be a fight video. Okay, I'm gonna mix it up a bit. But the next few videos I got planned for y'all, it's gonna be a surprise, alright? This time, it's gonna be a surprise this time, okay? Okay, so be good, stay out, stay free, and free up to all the homies locked down, okay? Free up all my fams in jail cell hell, okay? Take care, guys. Take care, everybody. Don't forget, like, share, comment, and hit that bell so you can see it first. And with all that said,